If you've ever attended an NFL draft, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. Folks, welcome back. Happy Friday. We made it to the end of the week. It is almost mice down, drinks up time. But first, we have another market session to get through. I had so much fun yesterday, but we're back. We're back, and it's time to attack the market. Let's get it.
Welcome to Benzinga Live Trading.
Let's see if this actually kind of comes back.
Way out of control, got way too high.
All right. Hey, I will take that. I will absolutely take that.
All right, folks, welcome back. Happy Friday. Hope you all are doing well. I'm excited to be back here. I got to say, yesterday was just absolutely amazing. So before we get started here, I do want to start off with a couple of thank yous to the team. Most importantly, Aaron Thomas, who some of you don't know, works behind the scenes. Absolutely worked his butt off for the past 2 days to pull off one of the coolest events Benzinga has ever done. So we had our own event that was a hit. The draft was a hit. I appreciate all of you folks that joined the watch party stream. We're trying to do some jokes there. So really appreciate it. Everything went really well. It was an amazing experience. And I'm super happy that we were able to share it with you folks. So absolutely awesome. Let's go ahead and bring on 13. 13, how you doing, man? How did you enjoy the draft?
Well, that was fun to watch. And I got to say, Chris Catchy's son is quite a knowledgeable young man. I enjoyed, whenever he spoke, because I was really surprised at his picks and how accurate they were. So got to give a big shout out to him. Joel and AB and everybody that was there on the stream, you with your your costume. And that was awesome. That was a great show. I watched the whole thing and enjoyed myself. It was a pretty good first round of the draft.
Yeah, it was. So, the draft part of it aside, I mean, the Chicago Bears just absolutely murdered that draft. It was awesome. And I am super excited. But what I got to say is that, first of all, I agree with you. Chris Catchy raised his son right? Obviously, Chris is a very sharp guy. Emmett's a very sharp guy. Again, I'm glad we're able to put that together. The shout outs continue, right? It was Joel's idea to do a super fan skit. I'm from Chicago. I had the jersey. I had all the stuff to do. So it was really cool that we were able to pull that off. And I'm glad that you folks enjoyed it. I want to give my whole goal here at BZ, whether it's trading, sports, or anything or otherwise, I want to give you something that you're not going to get somewhere else. So really glad to see that you folks enjoyed it. Love seeing that you guys all had fun, all of that. So Voodoo, no, I am actually not in a hotel room. One of my friends was able to put me up at no charge here, which was really important because everything is crazy from the draft. So that's where I am. The logistics of getting to the office today were very complicated. So we're doing it on location. But don't worry. I've tested all of the different Wi-Fi spots in the house. We should be good. 13 is going to be a real good backup here. So let's go ahead and get rolling. Brett, the first pick went to the Bears, and it was the next really big thing, Caleb Williams. So super excited. Okay, let's dive into the actual market. Again, I just want to thank all of you for spending time with us. First of all, the stream is sponsored by Trade the Pool. If you need to get over that pattern day trading threshold, or if you just simply need more buying power in order to make more trades, Trade the Pool is the spot to go. They're awesome. They're helpful. And like I've been teasing, we've got some cool stuff coming around the bend. So be sure to check them out. If you need help with figuring out what's going on in the market, I really encourage you to try Benzinga Pro. It is what changed everything for me. 13 is active in there. It's a great tool with all types of information to help you make better trades, and you can try it for 2 weeks for free without giving up your credit card information. So be sure to try that as well. Okay, let's dive into the market right now. We're going to start with the SPY 13. I know we had a slew of earnings. Obviously, the draft was big, but we also had a slew of earnings. Google, Snapchat, Intel, and that's going to have its effect here on the market today. So looking at this, here's the daily chart. Looks like we're kind of bouncing back up to this 20-day moving average that you've been kind of watching for a while, 13. That's also very close to the 50-day moving average. So it sure looks like we're going to try and test some of these upper levels. If you take a look at the daily chart here, you can actually see that we're at the start of making higher lows. And we're actually making these higher lows as the price stays above the 100-day moving average. So what I think is going to happen here is you're going to get some of these lines to kind of compress. Maybe the SPY stays inside of that, and then it's going to break one way or another. My bias says that it would break down, but obviously the market really doesn't care about what my bias is. It's going to do what it's going to do, and a lot of this is going to depend on earnings and the like. So this is where we're at with the SPY. 13, did you have anything that you wanted to cover, or anything that you noticed in terms of the index itself?
Oh, other than a big move the opposite direction from where I was hoping we would start to move back down towards, which is fine. Google and Microsoft had a huge earnings beats yesterday, and Google decided they were going to do a share buyback and also issue a dividend. So good reasons to own Google, apparently. But I think the outsized move they had in after hours is going to probably be faded today. So we'll see if we get that. Did get over 508.50, almost touched the 20-day SMA. I'm looking for it to come back in a bit, but throughout this earnings season, we may see more of this where we kind of chop around up and down before we see the end of that. And I anticipate we go lower after the earnings.
Okay, so that's what we got here on the SPY. Let's take a look at some of the bigger stocks here that reported earnings. I think the one that we're going to start with here is actually going to be Google. This was probably the biggest beat here.
Yeah.
Google up 11.5% here this morning. Lot of stuff going on here. First of all, you can see it broke out of this big time pop. We've got the start of a floating island going on here on Google. So this is absolutely something I'm going to be watching for a swing trade. I want to see what the candle does here today, what the range is, and then if it can actually backtest the bottom of the range. Alphabet board authorized repurchase of additional $70 billion of the Class A and C shares. Multiple firms raised the price target here. This is, of course, on the back of really good earnings yesterday. Google, do you think this is going to be strong enough to maybe carry us for several sessions or maybe even several weeks?
I don't know about that. I couldn't give you a solid answer on whether or not that's going to happen. Like I said earlier, I think this is a really outsized move. I'd like to see this faded.
Okay. And we'll see if we end up getting that faded here. I'm going to be watching Google. I'm not in a hurry to buy this. That's the big thing here. I have no trouble kind of waiting this out, being a little bit patient with Google here, but huge beat. Google looking really good here. Jay Rice is saying here, any dip gets bought. And Jay, I'm glad that you're saying this, because what I'm trying to do with this potential trade, the whole floating island formation that we see here, I'm trying to remain in a patient state until the stock dips and then buy that dip. I'm literally trying to do what you're saying here, and I'm trying to come up with some levels to do that. So Google looking really good. I'm definitely going to watch this over the next couple of sessions. Depending on how it performs, we may end up taking a new swing trade on this next week. We will keep you posted on that. So Google looking really good here. Okay, one of the other stocks to report earnings here is going to be Intel. Let's take a look at that. That's going to be ticker INTC, and yikes, looks like the bad news continues here at Intel. Intel shares trading lower after the company reported worse than expected Q1 sales results and issued EPS guidance below estimates. Also, JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs lowered their respective price targets on the stock. You can actually see that Intel broke beneath the 500-day, tried to curl and recapture it, and now we've actually gapped down to a support level right here at about 32 bucks. We're a little bit up off the lows, but this 32 level is definitely going to be key. 13, what are you thinking here on Intel? I know that you like this long term. Yeah. So what are you thinking in terms of how to actually trade this? I'm going to slowly add this over time. This is going to end up going lower. It's about to perform a death cross on the daily. But whenever stocks like this that I think have a strong future ahead of them are trading on weakness and going lower like this. This is for me around the time I start to like to add. So I did open a very small position to start a position, and I'm just going to be adding on the way down, looking for probably as low as $20 to see if we can
if it gets down there. I'm not sure it will, but I already started to position this. I like this super long term, like 2 to 3 years out. As far as the price action today, I don't know where this goes. We could head lower, but like you said, 32 is a pretty important level here based on the previous price action. If we do bounce here and trade back up, I'd be looking for that gap to fill that we've created this morning.
Okay, the other thing here on Intel is that we've actually talked about this a lot. This is, I like your plan to slowly add, by the way. That's something that we've discussed for a while. One of the things that this was actually a gigantic winner for the happy hour crew. It wasn't a day trade. It wasn't a quick trade. It was more of a longer term swing trade. But we talked about this being an awesome buy in the mid 20 handle. And that actually doubled from there and printed 50s. So really, really good trade. I'm looking for the same thing here, 13. It looks like you're not waiting for 25. You're kind of going to add slowly on the way down, average your price into something that you're comfortable with, and then wait for the appreciation there. To me, that actually seems like a really smart plan. The other thing that I want to mention about this is that one of the other stocks that we were actually both looking at for a specific level to get reached was Tyson. Yeah. And the thing about Tyson is it never quite got to my price that I had measured. And if I recall correctly, 13, I think you started adding ahead of that price, right? So I ended up not getting a fill. You ended up getting something. The stock reversed. I don't want that to happen here on Intel. So I think if we end up dipping beneath this 32, I'm going to be with you there. I'm going to be adding in small chunks and holding this for a long time period. Again, I think that this one, I think that this long term is going to work. Jay Rice here saying Intel 20s before 35, in my opinion. And you know what, Jay? If that's what we get, then my plan will actually work out. In this case. So really good stuff here. We'll see what Intel, I'm definitely not buying today, 13. I know that you've started to add here. Keep me posted. And if you add to this, I will be watching that 32 level and how the stock performs around it, however. Okay. Next one here that I wanted to cover, and then we'll go over to the small movers. I've got about 15 minutes left here. We're going to cover Snap. All right, so a couple of things. We're going to start here on the daily chart. You can see that Snap actually gapped down. I believe this was an earnings report that it gapped down on, and it really just kind of traded sideways. With the current earnings report today, Snap shares are trading higher after the company reported better than expected Q1 financial results and issued Q2 revenue guidance above estimates. Also, the company reported a year-over-year increase in Q1 daily active users. Easy for me to say. So you can see that Snap has actually kind of popped right into the middle of this gap. So for me, this is kind of in no man's land right now. I got to think at some point this gap fills. We're only about $2.50 away from that, from the current price. Maybe we get that here today. Jay Rice, I did see that you would like to add Snap on any type of dips. So it looks like maybe we can actually get this one to trade up as well here. Let me know what you think in terms of actual levels in case we do not continue to trade up here. I would be kind of wary if this broke down through 12.5. I think it might be kind of coming back in. Where we stand right now, awesome. This pop above all of the different moving averages, giddy up. Let's see if there's more upside here. What are you thinking on Snap here, 13?
I didn't really cover this one. I was just interested to see if there was anything mentioned in its earnings about, or the conference call about ByteDance's TikTok and what they expect to see happen as a result of the quote unquote ban if they don't divest. So I didn't really find anything at the moment. It looks like this is going to be in approaching or in the middle of oversold or overbought territory. So that we could see this one come back in a little bit, but I don't know what to make of this one. It could go higher. It could be anything it wants today. I didn't really cover this one. I just see that the RSI is a bit high. That's all. Yeah,
the big thing on Snap here is that with it being right in the middle of the gap, that's kind of what I feel like no man's land. That's kind of why I'm a little put off by it too. Real quick, Jay Rice here. You've been on Snap, and credit to you because you've been talking about some of these like Snap and Lyft. Those have been really, really good calls over the past half of year. Jay Rice saying, I think it goes to 18. I think it goes to 18. And this was exactly what I was going to bring up. I was going to say, depending on how Snap does today, watch Reddit off of that. This is a great call. Clearly, you've been doing this for a while. Really, really good call. Now, 13, you mentioned something interesting in there. You talked about the whole ByteDance thing. Mm-hmm. We did get some news this morning that ByteDance, if they're considering just removing the app and saying forget it in lieu of selling it, or in lieu of divesting it, I beg your pardon. To me, this shows that they are just, it's dirty. There was something wrong there, confirmed at this point now, if that's what you're going to do or if that's what you're going to say. So it will be interesting to see if there's a tailwind here with everything that's going on with TikTok and ByteDance. It's interesting to see if Snap actually picks up that tailwind.
Yeah, just don't have very many good things to say about TikTok, so I guess we'll just leave it at that.
Okay. That works for me. All right, let's check out some of the gappers. Let's see what's going on, and then we'll go ahead and run through some more stocks here in the chat. Again, really appreciate you folks showing up this morning. Hopefully you're having a good Friday. Okay, now as far as some of these smaller stocks, that the little Momo players that we watch here for day trading purposes, first one on the list here today going to be ticker BDRX, and this is one that we've traded before. You folks should have seen this one before, recognized this one from a previous trade here. Biodexa shares are trading higher after the company entered into an exclusive license agreement with Rapamycin Holdings for the rights to E-Rapa. Okay, so BDRX here up 130%. We popped into this, what looks, it's not quite a flag, but it's kind of slowing down here near the top. So far, it's holding. Looks like it's actually trying to break through the pre-market high. So I'm going to wait and see what the stock does at the open. We've seen some of these stocks that are up over 100% really kind of pull back at the open. That's what I would be hoping for a potential long side trade here. I've got the level obviously at the VWAP at 151, but more than that, I'd be watching this 140 level. I wouldn't be surprised if this really kind of knifes or yanks and then actually finds support. Let's see if this breaks down all day or finds some support here. Do you have anything on BDRX 13?
Yeah, just that the E-Rapa that it's you were mentioning, that's a phase 3 ready asset. So I haven't really dug too much into the particulars of this agreement they have with this the company that is licensing it to them. But I would think that there's going to need to be some kind of cash to be raised in order to conduct that phase 3 trial. I don't know that this company is necessarily going to do that. It might just be the company, the Rapamycin Holdings. So that's just something I'm going to be watching for. Other than that, it's got a 4.38 million share float. Didn't notice any reverse splits. And to your point about the formation, it looks like this could move up, but I would like to wait until the open to see what it does.
Okay, yeah, I'm definitely going to wait to the open here. Webcoin saying news on BDRX is suspect. The mention of a $17 million grant is not clear on whether or not that's something fresh or maybe a little bit stale there. That's totally, that to me, that seems common for some of these small caps. I mean, we'd say all the time, we're trying to identify what the catalyst is that's driving it. A lot of these don't really hold up. So BDRX, let's wait and see what the opening print gives us. And if this comes down to a specific level, let's see if that level holds and gives us a tradable setup. Okay, good start here with BDRX. Next one I have TVGN. And I'll be honest, I don't think I saw anything fresh on this. I know we kind of dropped right into the close yesterday. Yeah, nothing fresh here. Tevagen Bio, which is this ticker here, TVGN. Like I said, it really kind of sold off into the close. Went a little bit higher in the after hours, and then again in the pre-market on a fairly big pop of volume. Now it seems to be giving that back here. So TVGN, we are extended from the VWAP to the downside. So if this stock holds, maybe there's a chance to bounce back to the VWAP. But I got to be honest with you, given the action here, the recent action and the rest of the pre-market, this to me, I have to see strength here before I even consider this. This is a really looks kind of junky and looks like this wants some more downside here, ticker TVGN.
The only thing I could find on this was an 8K that was filed this morning, but it didn't seem to line up with the move that it had earlier before that filing came out. So I'm not sure that that's why it's moving. So I really couldn't say why we got that pop this morning. It does have a 14.85 million share float. Didn't notice any reverse splits. I agree with you. I think this is going to need to we'll just need to see what this does before the open. I think it might leak, but it could turn around at the open and trade back up. We have seen some of these stocks do that, where they just leak into the open and then they take off there from there. So we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, this is another one where we're really going to have to wait for the opening print, see what happens on this print. The good news here is I've got some levels pretty clearly defined. First of all, if this thing breaks down and it goes anywhere near 1 and can't hold it, it's going to not be a target for me. Second of all, if we're able to hold and maybe trade back up towards the VWAP, we actually have a pretty good distance in order to do that. So that gives me at least a first sell target if we're going to scale out, or if we're just trying to scalp it real quick and get some green on the screen, that would be our sell point here. So TVGN, you're really good stuff there, 13. We're going to wait and see what this does out of the open here. I'm skeptical, and I'm going to remain skeptical until something else happens here, until the information changes. Okay, we already talked a little bit about Snap. We're definitely going to be watching this one. And by the way, if this curls up and blows through 15, I think Jay Rice's target might be on deck here. Worth noting, though, the stock's already up 25%, so we'll see how much juice it actually has here. One other thing to watch for Snap, let's see what the options market tells us about Snap. Maybe we'll see some unusual option trading here today. I'll call that out if I do see it. Next one here is going to be FRGT. This is Freight Technologies. This is one that is no stranger to our show and our scanner and the movers tool, frankly. This popped above 140 here this morning. The volume has been tremendous. The volume yesterday was elevated from its average, but it is absolutely dwarfed by the volume that we're getting here today. The bad news here is that we're back down to a support level right about the same price as TVGN, to be honest, right here at the 110, 1-teens mark. I got the VWAP here at 125. I have the first upside target at 137, the second upside target at 144. But we're in a situation right now where this needs to show strength. We are breaking down here in the pre-market. Got to have this hold, or got to have one of these levels hold, and then maybe trade back up here. So what are you thinking here on FRGT? I'll say this before you go here. I've tried trading this one before, and this thing has spanked me before. So I'm a little weary of this particular name.
Well, if you add 2 O's to this, you'll get forgot, which is probably what you should have done with this. There's no news that I could see with this one, but they did have earnings earlier this week. I don't think that's what it's moving on. Shouldn't rule it out though. 2.4 million shares in the float. Much easier to push around than the previous ones we were mentioning. They did do a 1-for-10 reverse split on February 5th. But as far as the price action goes and why it's moving today, I really don't know the reason. Your guess is as good as mine. I think this is just another one that I'm just going to wait and see what happens at the open.
Yeah,
it's kind of been the thing with these today.
To be honest, I think we have better targets than some of these smaller ones anyway.
I think so.
I do want to call them out. Okay, real quick, just a couple of more to go through here, and I know we got about 4 minutes. Boy, I thought we were going to run out of time, but no. NIVF, this is one that we've been looking at the past couple of days. You can see the breakdown that this has really had. Actually, if we look a little bit more on this 5-minute chart, we got a very clear head and shoulders here. I don't know if you take any of that from a 5-minute chart, but in any case here, this is one that we've been familiar with recently. As Jay Rice likes to tell us all of the time with some of these smaller stocks, just take a look at them a couple of days later and they're right back to where they came from. And that is exactly what's going on here with NIVF. I know we tried to challenge 3, but we're back down to $1.50. Wouldn't be surprised if we actually lost this level, this $1.50 level, maybe even this $1.31 level. So I'm a little bit skeptical here on NIVF, but it is trading up here today. The volume should tell the story. Just keep it on your radar. Don't try to be a hero with this name. Next here, I have SLCA. Now, this is one of the frac sand companies. This is U.S. Silica Holdings. U.S. Silica shares trading higher after the company reported Q1 financial results and entered into a definitive agreement to be acquired by funds managed by affiliates of Apollo. So it looks like this is being bought out. The reason that I'm mentioning this is because when I first traded SLCA years ago, there were other frac sand companies that I would trade along with this. I have looked away from that for a number of years now. Might be time to start looking back into that. So just wanted to mention SLCA here today. And then I wanted to finish off with BOF because this one is one that has really been in play recently. The odd thing about this is we had that first impulse move day. It really did some price discovery, but the very next day we didn't run like crazy, nor did we break down. We actually had a fairly normal day. The stock was kind of back and forth, just sat over the VWAP for the most part. And today now we're curling, and it looks like we're going to try and take out this 240 level. Honorable mention to the 250 level on the big candle here. But it sure we already tried to do that once here in the pre-market. We've come back in. Watch BOF today. I think the volume is going to tell the story. If we get really good volume, we should be all right. If the volume kind of is like yesterday, I don't know how much action we're going to have here.
Yeah, I didn't cover this one either. I've been looking at Zim. That one's, as Sally mentioned here earlier, that's it's pushing 12 this morning. I have 12.45 as an upside target, and then 13 even after that. I don't know when if we're gonna see all that today. It's possible, but I've been looking for some more weakness so I could reload on this. But I think we're starting to get the move back up and see if we can. I don't know if we're going to get back up to 15 or however high this goes. But we just passed 12 there just a second ago as we're talking about it. This thing's moving right now. ZIM as I'm talking about it. So there you go.
Let me bring it up here. Sarah was handling something else.
No worries. So it's kind of funny just to be talking about this, and all of a sudden this goes.
So you popped this, right? You're the catalyst here. That's what I'm gathering. The
market opened.
You started talking about it, and it popped here. So here, let me get to a 1-minute chart here. I'm going to flip over to my main work. Here we go. We are open. Let me flip over to my scanner, and let's make some sense of what's going on here.
All right, let's see what some of these other ones you were talking about are doing. All right,
here's BDRX. That's coming back into the VWAP. This is what I want to watch first here. Ticker BDRX. Let's see if it can hold this VWAP.
I'm punching these other ones.
I love how you popped Zim. That is really special.
Let's see here.
Okay, so BDRX still kind of flirting with this VWAP here. I'd wait this out. We really want to see if this kind of confirms this. We'll see if BDRX trades up to the top end of the range here. Range that we really want to look at here, probably 172, 173 if it breaks above that. And then the other thing is we've seen some of these that do break the upside of the range end up getting pulled or knifed back in. That's not what we want here, BDRX.
Oh my God, look at Zim go. Just blasted right through 240 or 1245. It's on its way to 13. I'm just looking at those three that we were talking about earlier, BDRX, TVGN, and FRGT. They're all leaking out of the open here. So this is kind of what I was waiting to see if it would happen. So I'm glad I didn't do anything with these. Just wait to see if where they find a bottom if we're going to start trading these. But Zim, wow, what a move.
Don't you love it when a plan comes together? Don't you absolutely love that? By the way, Zim now getting picked up on the relative volume scanner off this huge open here. 13. I'm going to start calling you the Zim master. You seem to just drive this stock.
Let's not do that. Let's not do that. I'm not a master of anything.
Okay. Master of his own domain. BDRX.
That sounds good.
That sounds good. Let's see on BDRX where we can go here. Smoke Tuna saying BDRX has a sell wall here at 220. We'll see if we can get back up there. see what's going on with my, but tell you what, and we're breaking down here on BDRX. This is what we wanted to wait out. So
they are
night
loading
now
up
through the VWAP. This is going to get halted, I think, if it stays here.
It looks like it. Look at this wall getting created here at 148. Well, now it's suspended or halted. Yeah. So that was a nice move out of the gate there. So down that one goes, down TVGM goes, and oh look, FRGT is rebounding.
BDRX now halted here 145. Also noted that ticker back is halted to the downside. This had a huge pop intraday yesterday. Huge pop. Gave almost everything back, giving the rest of it back here today. Back is giving it back.
Yeah,
all the jokes that you want to make.
There
FRGT does look like it's coming off that 110 spot and closing the distance to the VWAP. What happens next is going to be the big thing here for FRGT.
Yeah, Zim is just on fire right now. It's going to 13.
I love it. Still holding Zim in the trade the pool account. So we should be going. Man, I know it wasn't a whole lot of shares, but held that through some deep red. Great to see that coming back. Great to see patience paying off here. That's actually, I'd like to see the aspects of the process working here. FRGT stopping right here at the VWAP, unable to really take out that 124.
Oh, yes. There you are. Okay, so I was waiting for Zoltan to show up. He just showed up and said he sold Zim. That's awesome. This guy bought Zim. He sold covered calls, waited patiently for this to happen, and then he sold this. That's awesome. We're at 13 now with Zim. Ring that register.
I don't have the soundboard, but I will have to owe you, I'm afraid. Let's see what happens here. FRGT, by the way, straight up being rejected at that VWAP there.
Oh, you guys are funny.
We got the best community out there, 13.
I've said it
a million times, and I'll continue to say it. Snap, by the way, trading up here. Looks like a little bit of a profit-taking pull down to the 14 level, but now we're popping another 50 cents up off that level. Snap looking strong so far. No breakdown at all. Lynn. Well, good morning, Lynn. Hopefully you are doing well here this morning. Jane, I appreciate it. Jane going guerrilla style here and just doing the sound effect with text since I don't have my soundboard. Jane, appreciate the assist there. Snap struggling to break out here. We'll see if it's able to do that. NIVF, this is another one that we were looking at. Looks like it's struggling with 170. Zim about to print 13s, 1298 up right here. Good start. Good start.
I'm getting asked if I have levels for Zim where it could be in 4 to 6 weeks. It could be anything in 4 to 6 weeks. But let's see here. I'll tell you what I've got, because one of the things I've been watching for or been waiting for it to happen with Zim is to fill this gap that I noticed a while back. That's between 1606 and 1736. That's still a ways away. I also have a level up at about 1550 that I felt was interesting. If we continue to move up through the 13 level, I'd expect some consolidation or a little trading down a little bit, because we are starting to get a little bit overbought. So just keep that in mind when trading this. I just don't know where we're going to be in 4 to 6 weeks with this one. I'd imagine that they're going to maybe trade up into earnings. I'm not sure. But the plan for this one is just to, be completely out again at 15.
Okay, there we go. Love you giving the plan ahead of time here. Zim off that initial impulse move, pulling back a little bit, but honestly, I think that's healthy. I got the VWAP here at 1255. We haven't even challenged that yet. Zim looking good for some more upside here. FRGT, how about this? This continuing its pop, it actually did take out that VWAP. The encouraging thing here about FRGT is there was a little bit of a battle at that VWAP, right? They kind of pulled off of it on the first attempt. Now we're breaking through it. Volume continues to expand. We're going up to the first target here of 137 on FRGT. Remember, second target here, 144. On a trade from 110 or actually anywhere in this area on this curl, I would lighten right here as target 1, lighten right here as target 2. And then on your own risk management, let you determine if you're going to leave a trailer on for that. I think that FRGT, based on what we've seen before, this likes to get tired sometimes. So I would be an advocate of selling at those resistance levels or even slightly before.
Just answering a question here.
No problem. Jesse's saying, Ryan, I think the mustache suits you. Jesse, look, I appreciate that. I'm glad that you enjoyed it yesterday. I'll say this. That mustache is annoying. A real mustache is annoying, in my opinion. One that sticks onto your lip is annoying. I struggled to keep it on there. I'm glad that you enjoyed it yesterday. I'm glad that we stepped out of the box for a little bit and, somewhat put on a costume. But I'll say this, Jesse, I would not plan on seeing that going forward here. Just saying.
Jay's Life mentioning SKX running.
They had a good report, didn't they?
Skechers? I think so.
Yeah, Skechers USA trading higher after the company reported better than expected Q1 financial results. Huge move here. Skechers up almost 15%. What I would say here on Skechers, I'm not trying to chase this candle. We did break. This is a nice little island. Let's take a look at a weekly chart here. I mean, this is a really good looking chart here, but I'd be trying to add on weakness. A lot of times when stock pulls back, it inevitably goes higher. So I'd be looking for a downside level here. If you're in SKX, maybe this is a time to kind of book some of those gains. Big move here on 14.5% on the backs of those earnings, SKX.
Yeah, it's looking like it's just trading a bit sideways at the moment. Had a pop and drop at the open. Next candle I'm looking at now is just almost a mirror image of that, but green. So not sure what to make of this right now. Goes up, goes down. Doesn't look like it's really got a direction in mind at the moment. BDRX still going lower, trying to recover. TVGN also lower. Forget is now coming back beneath VWAP after having a nice move up to 133. It looks like couldn't get through that consolidation in the pre-market. It seems pre-market high in FRGT is 144. If we can get back above VWAP, we probably see it try to make another attempt for that level again.
BDRX on that breakdown, it actually went past that support level that I had mentioned. It's trying to reclaim it right now. I still am not thrilled about this. Don't necessarily like this. Let's wait BDRX out. I'm not sure right now is the right time to buy. Taking a look at Microsoft here. Microsoft popped because they reported better than expected earnings. This is not one of the stocks that we covered here this morning. And then multiple firms raised their price target this morning. Microsoft not being rewarded for that, though, as this continues to roll over, actually using the VWAP as resistance. So looks like this is going to try and roll over and go towards the lows.
I mean, we talked about how a lot of these names are pretty overvalued right now. We look at the forward PE ratios; they're just really, really high. Like this, I think Microsoft is just under 30. So that's pretty. I mean, the prices need to come down on these things anyway. So yeah, it's had a great report. It exploded in after hours, but like I said, I think these needed to be faded. These are just really overpriced. We still need to. I still believe this market needs to correct more. And that means that some of these need to come down in price.
Jay Harris, we're taking a look at Microsoft, or we were there. Jay Harris saying, well, what about Meta? Taking a look at Meta here. This sold off. What was that? This was earnings, right? Yeah, this was earnings from Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yep. So something very similar. Yeah. And then it got all of those re-ratings there. So, Meta here, the interesting part about Meta, and I'll get it when I get the chart back up here, Meta might, if it remains strong, you might have a potential gap fill trade here on Meta. What's going on with let me get my chart.
One of the things that we could draw from Meta's earnings was how they were mentioning the costs of running AI and developing AI, weigh on the company's bottom line. Like they were talking about how they have to increase their expense guidance and their CapEx. They raised that to a higher level than what they had initially thought they were going to have to spend. So that's one of the big reasons why it came down. And I think that could also be contributing to why you're seeing names like Microsoft and Google trade down today, because that realization that it's going to be expensive to operate AI and it's very costly to get going, could weigh on those companies' margins.
Okay. Thank you for that. I'm sorry about my thing here. It kind of locked up. I'm trying to refresh this real quick. There we go. Let's get rid of the chat here. Let's go back to that main workspace. Okay. All right. Now let's see if I can bring up that Meta chart that we were just taking a look at. There we go. So what I would want to see here on Meta is maybe a move back up towards that 500 level, maybe 485. We'll see if Meta can actually clear this gap. Looks like it's tried. We'll see if this slows down here on Meta. Jay Harris, I'm sorry about the screen kind of going out there on the ticker that you wanted to look at. If you need any more of those levels because I was unable to show them, just let us know. Be happy to get that for you.
Looks like I mentioned MNY yesterday, and I didn't think a whole lot of it because we were looking at other stuff. But that had a pretty good day yesterday, as the morning and afternoon went on. Now we're starting to see it pop out of the gate here as well. Volume isn't super volatile right now, but I just noticed that we're moving up out of the open again. So just something to watch for. See if we get more.
Wis, good morning, by the way. My man saw that you mentioned FCUV this morning. This is Focus Universal. This is, of course, a penny stock. I'm going to avoid this, but this is popping on considerable volume, so might as well mention it. Let me know if you're doing all right with that. I'm going to just keep flipping through the relative volume scanner. Here's BEKE. This is a stock that we've traded a number of times off of the scanner. This one moving higher here on some pretty decent volume this morning. Snap looking to flush out the stops. Okay, let's take a look at Snap here. Also, I know that someone mentioned Riley earlier. This was B. Riley. This was a monster trade the other day. Look at this. We had that first impulse move. We pulled back. Now we set new highs here. Remember, there was a report that there was no wrongdoing here. They were kind of absolved from that. Riley going higher here. No position in this one. Gosh, wish that I did. Let's go ahead and take a look here at Snap real quick and see if we can make some sense of what Snap's doing. Okay, so it's coming back in. This support area is going to be key here. Do we actually hold this area or break down? What do you think, 13? You got any gut feeling on Snap? If you're not covering it, no problem. I don't mean to put you on the spot, but if you have a gut feeling on Snap, I'm curious.
Let me take a look at that. I'll give you what my gut says.
Yeah, no problem. I mean, to me, I think at some point we probably bounce here. I will say I did not see anything unusual so far on the options scanner for Snap. So I'm not sure that the option market is doing anything for this morning here.
Just give me a second. I'm looking. I'm seeing several things here, particularly of note that how we're trying to fill this gap.
So Steady User is asking if TikTok is going away, will Snap replace it? Now here's the thing. I will say again.
I just kind of grimacing like, I don't think it will. But a lot of the content creators that were in TikTok are probably going to start spreading out to some of the other ones. Snapchat's going to be one of them. YouTube Shorts will probably be another one. Facebook will probably be another one. I think they're just kind of going to, disperse from the TikTok realm and just go into different things, whatever it suits them. Maybe they'll be in multiple, companies.
Yeah, I'm not feeling confident that Snap is quote unquote the replacement. You know what I mean? Like, I think what 13 is saying here is a lot more feasible, that whatever void is left by TikTok gets picked up by multiple different companies. 13 just listed several for you there. I'm totally with you on that. I do want to watch Snap. By the way, while we've been watching it here, price action that we've been kind of waiting for has so far held. We held this low. We outlined this low. We held it. We're now bouncing back to VWAP here, 1427. If that gets taken out, I think this goes higher. If 15 gets taken out, maybe we go to Jay Rice's $18 target today. Be very curious to see if Snap holds up here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at that area that Jay Rice is talking about, 18. And I can see how we kind of triple topped earlier this year, or ended last year, earlier this year, and then we created this big old gap that we're actually trading in the middle of. Yeah, I really don't know what to make of this company. I know about Snapchat. I've used it before. It's fun, but I don't think this is going to replace TikTok at all.
Yeah, I would, let's put it this way. I would not necessarily trade this for the TikTok replacement angle.
Yeah.
I'd be more inclined to trade this on a specific type of technical setup that we can identify, or if we were able to get some option flow in there, that would be cool too. I think we'd be able to kind of trade on the back of that. So anyway, with Snap, we'll see. So far, this bounce here, definitely good for more upside. Again, we're battling right here at the VWAP. Let's see what we do when that VWAP actually falls. Let's see.
Getting a mention about we're getting an ask about Sizu.
Oh, okay. Let's take a look at that here. Oh, and then BRSH. Oh, is this? No, that's Brush Oral Care. I thought that was Barf from yesterday. I'm sorry. All right. We don't need to revisit that entire mess here. Here is Sizu here. It looks like this is moving to the low after 3 decent days of performance. Sizu here hanging on.
Yeah, the daily chart looks like it's trying to bull flag here. So maybe next week it'll try it and break out. I wouldn't hang my hat on that, but that's just what the pattern looks like for today. Maybe we go down to 10. And if we do, I'd see if we can get some support there, because we have gone down to 10 before and got support. That happened on Wednesday. We got close to that level again yesterday. 10.11 was the low and reversed. So if we get down to around the 10 area again, I'd imagine we'd see the same thing happen. So that'd be something to watch for if you're trading Sizu.
Okay. Good stuff there on Sizu. Crow, good morning, Crow. Good to see you. NIVF getting mentioned here. I actually haven't taken a look at this in a little bit. We looked at it earlier. Hey, NIVF took out the pre-market levels that we discussed here, and it's now at the top end of the range from Wednesday's trading session. I beg your pardon. NIVF, nice little winner for you penny players there, Crow. If I had a soundboard, you'd be getting a 1-up right now, boss.
Yeah, that went right up to, it looked like there was an after hours low on Tuesday in this stock, because we're trading right up to that same area. So if you look at like a intraday chart, various time frame, could be an hour, 30 minutes, 15, doesn't matter. I think if you see that the after hours on Tuesday, that low that it made there in after hours, that's where it's currently trading up at and seeing resistance. So look for that level to get taken out.
Also, just flipped over to NVIDIA because I saw a number of NVIDIA calls going off. In fact, they continue to go off here. Now, they're not terribly big in terms of their size, but there's a lot of them here, and they keep coming. NVIDIA, this sure looks like this is trying to go higher here today. So tech, obviously, or at least NVIDIA here is doing well. Let me check in on the cues. I don't have my 4 screens with a bunch of different charts, so I apologize for being a little bit slower here today. Q's dip so far getting bought. This seems to be the overall general theme. Dips are getting bought. We're seeing more of that here today.
Yeah, so if NVIDIA is going to get picked up and make an upside move, then maybe it's worth watching SoundHound for the same.
Let's check in on SoundHound. Yeah, you're right, Crow. I am missing Buddy and Cleo, but they're in good hands, and I will see both of them tomorrow, so no big deal. Okay, SOUN. You know what, 13? SOUN on a pop through 430 probably gives you a decent day trade.
Yeah, that would make sense.
And you know what? Someone mentioned this earlier, and I apologize. I think we skipped over it. I might have been doing something else, or we were covering something else. HWH. One of you chatters mentioned this earlier. I know it got mentioned again here. HWH popping, and we're seeing the expanding volume that we look for, right? So we had this initial move here. The second leg was done on some massive expanding volume. This traded up towards 214 here today. It's holding a little bit higher.
Was it just getting ready for the next move, or what's going to happen here? I mean, I'd like to see the volume continue, but it seems like from the MACD that we might be getting close to the end of this current move up. Don't like the way those wicks are looking on the 5-minute chart, so we'll see. I mean, I could be wrong. This could break out, but just the things that I was mentioning, it looks like this might be turning around soon.
Okay, sorry, Kalu. Peggy is an 8-cent stock. I'm not. We're not going to cover 8-cent stocks here, Kalu. Love you to death. Hope that trade works out for you. But sorry, that's not part of this stuff here. On not stocks that small. Yeah. No go. No go. Nvidia calls still printing here, by the way. Avago calls coming in as well. That's Broadcom. Let's see, where's BDRX holding out at? Okay, so maybe the BDRX curl starting here. Watch on maybe a VWAP reclaim 143 break might send it. Riley, no chill. Riley still continuing to push up here. Oh my goodness. The B Riley, the expanding volume also really great here. B Riley. How's Pan W doing? This is another one that we were kind of watching. Looks like Pan W really kind of sold off. Guess what? Stop me if you've heard this before, folks, but the dip got bought yesterday on Pan W. Higher we go. Let's see if we can take out 294. I did not re-enter this swing yet. I've had too much stuff going on here.
Yeah, that first move in B Riley a couple days ago, that didn't get broken. The 35 level didn't get broken until today. So this is I think this is continuing to squeeze because that short interest was pretty high. I think maybe shorts came in after the that move earlier in the week, tried to push it down, and they just got killed today.
AbbVie trading lower here after earnings. Let's see if AbbVie is possibly bottoming here around 160 area. Maybe we can get a bounce here on AbbVie. Let's also flip over to the daily chart here. Looks like this 160 really a key level here from AbbVie. Maybe watch this if we break down or bounce from this area. We're only 2 points away here. Ticker ABBV. Sally, it was you were the one that mentioned HWH earlier. You're saying there is a flag going on here. Oh, excuse me. Indeed. And that flag is building above the VWAP here. Let's see if we have a breakout to the upside here on HWH. What does this company do? I don't even think I'm familiar with this one. Purpose-driven lifestyle company enabling home-based people in the new gig economy to create lasting wealth. Developing new pathways in the aid of helping people in their pursuit of health, wealth, and happiness. Well, I'll tell you what, that sure sounds good, but that is about as vague as I've ever heard. I'm still not sure what this company does. Here we go. Let's see if it breaks out here. Looking pretty good on a flag breakout here. Sally, that was a really timely call.
Yep.
Really timely call here, Sally. Good luck. Hopefully, I'd be smashing my soundboard if I had it in front of me.
I mean, is it going to get above there, or is it just going to fake out? Because it did pop a little bit above 214, but it's not really getting that big of a breakout like I think it should have.
Lynn, I will say I have not actually gone through Fausto's training, so I can't tell you if that's what I'm doing. I saw that you asked me this earlier. I'm not quite sure how to answer it. One of the things that I'm doing is I'm using option flow as just kind of another indicator. I don't know that I would trade something based purely on option flow, but if I'm seeing a technical pattern resolve or I'm seeing a theme that is recurring and I see options kind of support that theme or maybe have a contrarian to that theme, then I look at that as notable and kind of go from there. But this is considered an ancillary data point. Hopefully that helps. Hopefully that helps. Zim 1330. How about that?
It's amazing. Oh, our Riley now leaking here.
Did they get yanked there on Riley?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
See what we got here. Yeah, oh my gosh. And you know what, 13? You know what's crazy about this? This is exactly what we saw that first day. Look at this.
Yeah.
Not only did we yank, but we yanked through the VWAP. Now, it's worth noting that we actually tried to reclaim that VWAP and couldn't, took another leg lower before reclaiming it the next day. So keep in mind the pattern that ticker RILY traded on Wednesday earlier. So far, looks like that's shaping up here on Friday. Okay, I'm also just FYI, folks, really want to thank all of you for joining us here today. And I'm also thankful to the internet gods for allowing me to stream and manage this show here on Wi-Fi. Smoke Tuna, you'll love this. The MacBook Pro is being put to its biggest test right now, and it is absolutely getting it done. So really good stuff there. And again, I'm just glad we kind of figured out some of the internet issues that I was having earlier this morning.
SKS had a pop. It's slow moving, but it's got new highs at 68.47.
Okay, Snap here still battling with the VWAP, but refuses to break down. You had said SKX, right? Let me bring that up here. That's actually one of the recent tickers here. Here is Skechers. Up, new leg higher.
Nope.
Luke, what's going on, dude? How are you doing? Let me ask you, Luke, how would you rate the draft, our event, and then what the Lions did? Scale 0 to 5, all three things. How would you rate that? I gotta say, everything that took place yesterday exceeded my expectations, exceeded them to the upside.
Yeah, look at NIVF. That broke out over 2.
Nicholas saying, I wish I had a Pro instead of an Air. Indeed. I knew. I've actually had that experience before. I've had a Pro before. I've had an Air before. Knew exactly what to expect there. So Crassy saying Eagles killed it again. Hey, Luke, did you ever get final totals? That show that we did last night, 13 will tell you, we had really, really good feedback here this morning. So a lot of really, really cool stuff going on. Really, really proud of the entire team. Really, really proud of the entire team for everything that happened. This has been a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Looking forward to round 2.
Yeah, and so I wasn't sure if I was supposed to say this, Luke, so I kind of just didn't say anything. But this is one of the reasons why I started today's show off with a thanks to our crew. The NFL draft event was killer. Our office was jammed. 13, I know when you visited the office, we had just, with the regular Detroit crew in there. We didn't really have any guests. You should have seen the office yesterday. It was packed from the side to the back to the front. Tons of great guests. And here's the killer thing. Our team put this event together in a week. And we pulled off something. I mean, if you had told me prior to this, hey, this is what we're trying to do, this is the time frame, I'd have been like, you guys are effing crazy. But no, our team did it. Our team did it. It was awesome. Awesome. Here you go. 25 NFL starts, Olympians, agents talking business, life, investing. I mean, it was something else. It was something else. And I was fortunate. I got to greet everybody as I was registering them. I sent everybody up to that office with a smile. Every one of them.
That's awesome. That was a pretty cool event. I caught some of the interviews that they were doing too earlier with some of the Olympians and the players.
And by the way, folks, as always, when it comes to anything Benzinga related, we want to hear your feedback. We want to know what you think. What can we do better? What do you want to see? So this was really kind of a first shot at that. Please give us that feedback. If you don't know where to send it to me, and I'll make sure it gets to the right person. So absolutely love what we saw from the team.
Yeah, NVIDIA is ripping.
Okay. Tech getting strong here. NVIDIA calls, by the way, NVIDIA calls have not stopped since I first flagged them. Earlier, it was on this second move up here, right to about 845. Since then, the volume has remained. We've taken the next leg up. Looks like 860, the next target here on the upside. And I am still seeing calls across the tape here for NVIDIA, looking real strong here.
Let's see here. Just kind of scanning through, see what we got. You see that? This is why you got to forget it. FRGT. This thing is on its way down.
God, I love what you did right there. I love what you did right there. This thing should have had O's in it, and it would have been forgot. Oh, that's so good. Here we go. Let's see what FRGT. Okay, it actually broke that support level. To me, maybe we get a bounce here at $1, but I'll be honest, with this type of weakness, we got other stuff to trade here today. Between NVIDIA, Snap, and even some of the other smaller names here, for me, I'm going to forget FRGT.
All right.
Did you like that, 13?
Yeah,
Let's go.
That's
Lynn, thank you for all your support. You and Randy, enjoy your weekend. Hope the Predators get you some win. I hope that you have smiles all weekend. We're going to see you right back here on Monday, ready to make some more money. Thank you again for all of your support. Have a great weekend.
Brett Green mentioning MFI. That had a pop up to 1249. It's trying to get back up there again. Need a little bit more volume. And we're also getting that... well, that's on a.
Did you say MFRI? I'm sorry. What was the ticker?
MFI.
MFI. Sorry about that.
Oh, this is a new edition. I IPO'd. What is it? This week.
I feel like I recognize this, but I guess not here. Now, let's see if this pulls an MNDR. Remember, one of our recent IPOs that wasn't really on anyone's radar went from 6 to 25. Maybe we get another big move here off an IPO. This is MFI, currently about $12. Let's see where MNDR is right now. You know what? MNDR, this is actually pretty impressive. This is holding that huge move up, still about $23 here. I believe that was a Becca trade. Just absolutely marvelous. Way to go. See what B. Riley is doing here. You guys also said Snap might have been breaking down. Let's see where that's at. Snap still holding that area here. Until this really breaks down, this is not over. I'm still looking for some more upside here on Snap. Richard, take care of yourself. Thank you for all of your support, all of the smashing up of the likes, and all of the good things that you have to say about our entire team here. Have a great weekend. And again, don't forget, we'll see you back on Monday.
Yep. And all those that we were talking about this morning, they're all down. BDRX going lower. TVGN getting killed. FRGT, we already forgot.
Love it. Even Riley, which we were kind of watching, it looks like that's coming in as well.
It looks like Riley's trying to stop that right now, but it looks like to me, if we continue to get this sideways action, that it may end up just going lower. All right. So big tech wins again, right? Is that what's happening still? They're all moving up.
Sorry about that. Handling some internal work stuff real quick. Let's see what we got here. HWH lost that $2 handle. Oh, it's still battling there. Let's see. How is Google doing? I noticed that was on the scanner for a brief second there and then flashed off. Let's see what Google's doing. Okay, so this is interesting. So far, Google retracing some of this move. Here's the question for me for today's session only. If we do pull back, as we look like we're starting to do here, do we find where is the support level that we find here, and is it a tradable level? What I mean by that is I could absolutely see us bouncing here at 170, but I could also see that just being a straight up dead cat bounce and really not worth a huge trade here. So I would say on Google, let's see where this comes back into. I do like this long term. I think that there's some AI tailwinds here for Google. No position yet though.
I would say, to me, it looked well on GOOG. I would say maybe 161 or 162.
Okay, so a little bit more. That would almost retrace the entire move post earnings.
Yeah, I'm looking at the. I guess we could call it a double top. We put in a double top the day of, like a couple of days before earnings, like on the 24th on Wednesday. That was the second top, and then the one before that was on Friday the 12th. So that double top there on the daily chart is what I'm referring to. If we are going to trade down and completely give, or not completely, but mostly give back all this move that we got from the earnings, that would be the level I would think that we start to see some support or a rebound, because I don't have too many levels between here and that.
Okay. And Zim ripping to the upside here. ripping to the upside, 1350.
Tasty. All right. Looks like NVIDIA's trying to see if it's going to go higher or not. It's kind of just in a sideways motion at the moment. MFI, that had a pop to 1250 again, and it came right back in. Brett, did you capture that? I think you were the one that was on MFI, right? You were just watching. Let me know if you won on that trade, because that was a nice pop.
Brett, interesting take here, Brett. I don't trust the tech surge. It opposes the macro. Brett, what else do you have in there? I mean, do you think AI could kind of help out? What else do you see here in this move? Are you just kind of waiting it out and seeing before you actually take a trade, or do you not feel good about it entirely? Yeah, dude, Larry, your first stop is your best stop. That is a key lesson. The earlier you learn that, the better it will be for you.
Well, NVIDIA is still going higher.
Sally, when you said Zim wants to break up, I was like, oh no, break up. Do you mean break up with you? Like, is the trade going poorly? And then I clicked on it and saw it was taking another leg up, and we're going to get some more gains there. Boom.
No, it's a girlfriend, so it wants to break up.
Well, I didn't know, and I didn't want to assume. And all I know is that Zim is ripping here today, up 17.5%.
It's not you, it's me.
Okay. The Seinfeld reference is super strong. You're never going to get a bad word out of me if you're making a Seinfeld reference, and that was a key one right there. All right. Looks like Neo getting several mentions here in the chat. Let's see on Neo.
HWH recaptured 2, trying to go higher. See what we can get with this one. The top that it made was 216 about 10 minutes ago.
Sorry, just responding to a message here real quick.
Yeah, breakup and makeup, exactly. Oh, you're under 13 again? Oh, come on back. Come on back.
All right, let's see what's going on here. Breakups then makeup. Okay, you guys are having fun here. You love to see that. You absolutely love to see that. Let's see, what else do we have going here? So BDRX, might we be getting a bounce here finally off 120 BDRX? Snap still trying to hold on to that 14.
Swede mentioning BOF, that had a pop up to 272. We're kind of consolidating a little bit sideways right now. I think this is trying to put in a bit of a flag or a pennant of some kind. We'll have to see what happens over the next 10 minutes or so. I think HWH might try to move or up through 216 here if we get some volume to increase in the next 5 to 15 minutes.
I'm going to go to HGA or HWH here in a sec, but BOF, this was a really strong move here. Nice expanding volume pop, took us above the pre-market range, and actually so far it's doing a really good job holding above that range as well. Encouraging here, ticker BOF. Yeah,
the 250 level was an upside target that I had. It broke through that. Now I'm looking at that as support. So if we continue to get support, we'll probably see some more upside. 279 is the next upside target I have.
James Santangelo, our very own James Santangelo here. James, we really missed you yesterday. See you on the fairway, Ryan. James, I'll say this. I really appreciate you coming out with positive vibes early and trying. I don't know that I'm going to be on the fairway. Okay, so if I am, yeah, I'll see you there. I appreciate the positive vibes here this morning. Good morning. Happy Friday. Ryan, are you still holding big lots long? I have not been holding that. I have not bought big. I did not trade that, hold that. I didn't trade that one. That's one that you've been watching, Gerald. I recognize that ticker. Hollow getting some mentions. I saw Lynn and Randy going Hollow, YOLO, Jolo earlier, and I didn't see anyone else mention it. So I wasn't sure what Hollow was doing here. Looks like it sold off to 260, maybe closing that gap back to the VWAP. I don't know, though. Volume looks lower than yesterday. It gave back a lot of its gains yesterday. I'm not sure this one goes higher. Nice little double top up here right around 290.
Looks like NIVF is trying to take out that 206 high that it made. It's pushing right now.
There we go. Let's see if we get some new highs here on some volume.
Snapchat looks like it's turning around, may have bottomed. We'll see if that's the case. It's up to
Max N here. Looks like this is trading up. Should have some space right up here. 214, maybe 220 Max N, ticker MAXN.
See a green candle on FRGT and BDRX, but I'm not convinced.
Sally,
if
I had the ring the register, you'd be getting multiple again here. Great trade on Zim. I know you've been watching that for a while. Absolutely hitting it out of the park here. Let's go. That's what we want to see.
Sally just had a great weekend, and it's just getting started.
And it is just getting started. Wisdom, look, man, you know how we roll around here. Ryan and 13, we will hold the line every day. Every day. Rain, shine, no matter where we're at, we will hold the line, dude. That's what you can expect from us. Look at Kava also appearing on the relative volume scanner here. Kava going higher here. This has been a monster. This has been an absolute monster. That IPO, little bit of excitement there, met with a lot of selling, but boy, oh boy, this thing tested 30 and said, see ya, we're going for a double, printing 65 here. This actually was above 70. Maybe we make a run for some new highs here. Kava looking real good here today.
Palantir also having a pretty good day too, trying to break out of this. It seems like it's put in a little bit of a cup formation, but at 22.55 right now. So it looks like it could be trying to go higher.
Hey, look at Jay Rice. What an amazing call. So Snap holding up here. 13, you were correct. This refuses to break down. The longer this flags, the better the chance that this actually does break to the upside. Snap doing well here today. And Jay, what a call earlier. Hey, guys, you told us this before the market even opened. That has Reddit at a price of about $42. So watch Reddit off the snap beat. Reddit now going to the after hours highs yesterday. Let's see if that breaks here. 45, definitely a target here. Jay Rice, bang, bang, bang. God, I'll tell you what, the one day I don't have a soundboard, I'm like dying to use the soundboard. There's so much stuff going on.
So much winning right now in this group.
There's so much winning. It's like Charlie Sheen up in this piece.
I know. After live trading, how about a round of Tiger Blood?
We'll just take shots of Tiger Blood over here.
Yeah.
All right. Good stuff here. Walter. Okay. First of all, I absolutely love seeing these comments. This to me is stuff that really, really makes me feel good. The squawk really saved me today. That's awesome because I'll be honest, Charlie and his squawk has been arguably the single greatest tool to help me in my trading in my entire career. So just really, really great stuff there, Walter. I got to say that tool is one of the few tools that I literally consider invaluable. Uh-oh. Crow is going to pick a fight with you, 13. Don't forget FRGT. Don't forget FRGT. Is this coming back? Are we Undertaker rising from the dead here on FRGT? What's going on?
It went down to $1, and now it looks like it's curling up. Still has to get through some levels, one being 110. I still need to see it get above the 200 EMA. Until this starts breaking above the levels I just mentioned, this would probably look like it's going to head lower. But I'm not going to say that that's what's going to happen. It could turn around and go back up. This thing doesn't have a whole lot of volume in the float, 2.4 million shares, so it could get pushed around. I'm not going to gamble on this one.
Okay, yeah, I'm not either, but this is bouncing here, bounced clean off that $1 handle. By the way, NVIDIA still continuing here. More calls getting bought here. The 700s, the 850s, the 840s. NVIDIA at the highs here, 867. Look out, tech getting bought, bought. Yeah, bought. Wanted to say buyed, but I was like, no, that's not the right word.
Wow, NVIDIA is just nothing but green candles.
Stop me if you've heard that before, 13. Stop me if you've heard that before.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Boom. Nice trade, Jay's life. Get it, get it, get it. NIVF. Are we going to look at this? Another upside leg here, NIVF. This took out that 220 area. This was an area from a couple of days ago. Next spot here, 250 and then 296. We could call that 3, though, for lack of a better word.
Yeah, NIVF, that was a good one.
Webcoin, Josh and me here. I buyed it. Webcoin. Let's go. MU moving fast, huh? Micron moving. Is this off the back of that NVIDIA move?
Well, probably also off the fact that it did sell off pretty well here. Let me see how much it sold off.
This potential spot here, right? This 815 break here would be pretty good for Micron.
So, yeah, Micron actually from the highs that it made just earlier this month, it's down almost 19%. Or it came down almost 19%. It's up now, but from the April 4th high to the April 18th low, it's about a 19% move there. So not too surprising that this is kind of trying to come back up. Now, if it gets back up to the 20-day SMA, that's where we're going to need to see if it can break through that. But I believe it might reverse.
Snap, that dip's getting bought. Let's see if this goes higher here on Snap.
A-Lab
Hollow
just had a pop.
knifing. Thank you, STFU.
A-Lab just had a pop.
A-Lab, huh?
Mm-hmm. That was getting mentioned in the chat earlier.
This has been, I'll tell you what, A-Lab has been a great call here from the chat, and multiple times here too. A-Lab looking pretty good. See if Snap can end up moving higher here. Mark, good question here, Mark. Let me address this. Is Squawk Charlie included with Benzinga Pro, or is that feed an add-on service? Mark, this is a great question. Let me try and answer this for you as completely as I can, because I never seem to stop getting questions about Charlie and his future. Charlie is an institution, and he is absolutely a part of Benzinga Pro. So yes, if you get the essential version of Pro, Charlie is included in that. The essential is the one with all the tools. That's the one you see me here streaming every single day. We have another Squawk that is an add-on, but the one that I'm referring to, the one that you're asking about, Charlie's, is absolutely included in Benzinga Pro. And as I've mentioned a number of times, this was what got me over the hump. I tried Benzinga Pro. I tried a bunch of other competitors. I won't name them here. I'm not trying to disparage anybody. But at the end of all those trials, I said, without a doubt, the most effective Squawk tool on any of these platforms was the one on Benzinga Pro, and it was because of Charlie. He does such a fantastic job. He's very, very easy for me to understand, and it has been a tremendous, tremendous help. So yes, that is included with Pro. Make sure that you get the essential version. And if you want some personalized service, let me know, and I will get James Santangelo to hook you up. James, if you're still in the chat here, let me know here. Mark, sounds like Mark might need your help.
After a
collapse?
Yeah, I just was seeing that. So I looked over at SoundHound, and after a choppy morning, it's now trying to break out and go to that pre-market high of 431. we'll see if it happens. It's
Okay.
volume's not particularly great.
NVIDIA collapsed all of 0.6%. I mean, but I don't know if this is a collapse. This is a orderly pullback, it seems, after a pretty big impulse move on volume. I wouldn't be worried about that right here. Zim 1350. Let's go, Zim. Voodoo confirming what I was just saying there. Ryan, I listened to Rand Squawk on TDA years ago. Charlie is far superior. Voodoo, I completely agree with you. Completely agree with you on that. Thank Jay Jacobs. Agree. Charlie is great. I love to see this love for the Benzinga team. That hook that to my veins. Let's go. It's a good old Simpsons joke. If you didn't catch that one.
Oh wow! I just decided to take a look at Mullen because we've been talking about it. It had it had a nice move out of the gate, but it's come back in. So nice round trip there.
Look at the Zim chart.
Yeah, it looks pretty good, doesn't it?
I mean, that is literally parabolic like that. Like this thing is going vertical here. You love to see it. Let's go on Zim.
Yeah, that is just a much stronger move than I was anticipating today. I wasn't even thinking 13. I thought it was going to just kind of stagnate around 1250, 1245. So that's awesome.
Nicholas saying Zim is just all green. Indeed. We had a lot of days where we were kind of waiting out some of the red. You just love to see this get back green with a vengeance. She's a beauty, says Sally. Indeed. Love with charts that I'm holding.
Oh, wow. Wisdom, 2 years? What, if I could ask, what made you want to get into that so long ago? Was it the dividend or what's...
And then the other thing that I would add to that, 13, why hold instead of maybe trade around the core? That was something that you did incredibly effectively over these. I feel like Wisdom is sharp enough and active enough where you can do the exact same thing. Might be a perfectly good reason for that. Not casting any judgments there, but just wondering. All right. DC saying would like to see NVIDIA go to 890. All right.
Yeah, 2 years ago, Zim was at 55 because we had a huge supply chain issue and shipping rates were absolutely skyrocketed. Yeah. That's where Zim makes its money. When shipping rates go up, they try to lock in those contracts as early as they can, and then they do really well on those contracts until they expire. Helps them bring in the revenue and helps them with that huge dividend that they pay when they have big earnings.
All right, let's see what we got going on here. The alerts in here are pure gold. Brett, you just that makes me so happy to hear you say that.
Yeah, Wisdom, thanks for that information. I hadn't seen that yet. So that's great. I appreciate that. He's just saying that he picked up Zim based on a friend that who worked on Bloat, and they said they were picking up about 30% more business. So I hadn't seen that information yet, so I appreciate that.
Boom. Love teammates helping one another. All right, let's see what we got here. BDRX bouncing off 120 still, although that bounce is slow. TVGN, no chill, just more moves to the downside. No support here. Really not looking good. FRGT, we didn't forget. It's bouncing off one, but it doesn't really seem to have a whole lot of power past that. We'll see here on FRGT. Take a look. Oh, it just went off my screen there, but I'm going to pull it back here. Let's take a look at Google. This is still a little bit of a down move here. Wonder where Google's actually going to find its support intraday.
Let me see if I can pinpoint that. Well, I told you I thought that somewhere between 161 and 162 looked like a good spot, but that's still $10 away. Jane Smith has a lot of shipping exposure in her portfolio, and it's looking good.
Hey, how's GL doing today?
Which one?
GL, the big money printer.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Excuse me. Sorry, don't have my hardware mute button here. GL, this did pull back a little bit here, but holding, so this might not be done. That's been such a good trade. B. Riley looking like this is making another move towards 40 here on B. Riley. STFU saying, you'll see, Ryan, on NVIDIA, there's a knife coming. There's a knife coming on NVIDIA. I don't doubt it. NVIDIA is incredibly volatile. I just hadn't seen it yet. Here, you guys were talking about BDRX. Let's take a look in here at BDRX. We are continuing to bounce here, 17 cents off that 120 bounce, 145. That's definitely going to be a sell target here on this bounce. Let's see, only 8 cents away at this point.
Yes, Jeff, you might be right about Zim rolling over soon. The MACD doesn't look great, and the formation, this particular pattern that we're putting in, more bearish. So, yeah, I think you could be right. We might see Zim roll over a bit here. BOF popping, says several people.
Yep, that is going towards 280. That is your high print of the day here at 280. See if there's any offers out there for this to maybe take out.
No, that was well. I think I said 279, but hey, we'll take 280, and it held that 250 level, and this is the result. So those levels were great. Next upside target I have is 310.
Indeed. I don't really see anything new here. And oops, that just changed on me. CGEM popping here on volume. Did we get news on this CGEM? This was a move from 19, it looks like, up here to almost 25. Big move here on CGEM, ticker CGEM. Yeah, we did have news here this morning. Wow, this came out here during the regular session here. Cullinan Therapeutics to present clinical data from a phase 1 study evaluating a novel anti-MICA-B or MICA-B antibody, CLN619, as monotherapy and in combination with a checkpoint inhibitor in patients with advanced solid tumors at ASCO 24. Okay, 13, that was a mouthful, but I'll be honest, I think I did a fairly good job with that one. I didn't really butcher those words. That was
no, it's a
pat on the back for that, frankly. This thing is ripping on volume.
No, it's just funny when you started to go binary by saying CLN619, and I started laughing at that.
Oh, anyway. Oh, right, 69. Nice.
Let me just take a look at this this data, because it's talking about presenting phase 1 data.
STFU, you did great, and it's all jargon. There was basically nothing in there. Oh, good times, folks. Good times. Good times. I'm a biologist, and even I get cross-eyed on that kind of thing. Okay, well, you know what? I'll tell you what. I really don't feel bad anymore. I can really appreciate that. NIVF here, we pop into new highs. Okay, let's see. NIVF taking multiple legs up already. Let's see if we get another one. HWH popping. So some of these names that we were watching from earlier, a little bit delayed here, it seems, and we're getting some of these pops. HWH a little bit later on. Yeah, HWH, new highs here. Look at 220 on this one.
Well done, Nicholas. Well done.
NVIDIA fading. I'm still seeing some calls getting bought. The most recent tranche, the 840s for, I think, is that today? Let's see. Yeah, the 840s are for today, but the thousands are for June 21st expiry on those NVIDIA calls. This move down here, to me, just looks like a pullback. The one thing I'll notice here is that as this moves back, the selling volume does not seem to expand, although let's see if this changes here. Yeah, this is going through a battle right here, ticker NVDA.
BOF popped up to 286, and now it's coming back in. So this we're going to look for 250 to provide support, maybe also 260, since it was consolidating around there. Soundhound did briefly pop, and now we're back down to the consolidation from earlier. NIVF popping now and going higher.
BDRX. Let's see if this actually makes a move back to the VWAP here.
Oh boy, NIVF 238 now the high, trying to get through 240 where there's a bit of a wall.
Oh my God, another leg here on NIVF. Good stuff.
The Crow, thanks for the donations, Shorts.
Yeah, look, I've been following Crow for a bit now. He really loves to smack talk the short. So Crow, keep that up there. Jay, no, the volume that I'm talking about is just shares. Jay Rice, Oracle, nice move off of Microsoft. I actually didn't even look at Oracle today. Shame on me. That is a nice move. Let's see if we move back here to the VWAP on Oracle. Oracle actually pretty decent bounce. Look at this filling the gap up and now moving back up here on Oracle. I think maybe this, I wonder, you think this can make it back to the 130s, 13?
Let me bring up Oracle. And
Yeah, I think you're going to get some more resistance here, 127 and 128. That was the previous triple top that we tried to punch through but couldn't really stay above. This filling the gap to the downside, I want to say that this is going to roll over, but so far so good. Looking pretty good here on Oracle. Let me take a look at a longer time frame and see if that tells us anything. Okay, I do like what I see here on the weekly on this time frame. This uptrend here, long as this remains intact, maybe we can go towards those previous highs here. Ticker Oracle.
So Oracle basically popped on from last night, like much later last night when it introduced the new AI capabilities from its Fusion Cloud. That's the news I'm seeing that may have translated over to why it's moving up today. So let me see here.
Yeah.
With the chart.
Yesterday morning, Oracle introduces new AI capabilities to help organizations boost sales. That is a juicy headline there. Again, that was from yesterday, though, not today.
NIVF going higher. Well, it did a second ago. It looks like it just pulled just now. But ORCL, that one is currently, or it traded up this morning to the 50-day SMA, where it got resistance. I would think that it. Hold on a second.
Okay, I thought maybe my internet just died there.
No.
I had a mini heart attack, and now I'm okay to go here. So
sorry, I won't do that to you. I won't do that anymore. I just started seeing something. I was like, well, maybe not. If it does come back in and we go lower than the lows it put in today, I would have to think that 115 is definitely going to have to be where it finds support. That would be that would be a complete fill of the gap, and then it could come back up. I just don't know what this is going to do tomorrow. The 50-day SMA is resistance. It's just not overbought, so it has potential to go higher. But I just couldn't tell you what it's going to do. It might just chop around. I'm expecting a lot of choppiness this summer. So.
Yeah, I mean, if that is a dead cat bounce that's going on in Oracle, you're exactly right, 13. That bounce is going to end real quick, and all of a sudden you're going to be back to chop, maybe even red on that position. Reddit continuing higher here. This is masterful call earlier, Jay. I still don't like this. I still think Reddit inevitably goes lower, but clearly the momentum here to the upside. It's got a tailwind. Nice move here in Reddit. That would have been a really good buy right out of the open.
No, I'm not having a stroke. I don't want to make a joke about that because although I could, there's a lot of politicians we could talk about with that, but I'll leave it alone.
Looking around here, things definitely a little bit drier than they were earlier.
They are drying up a bit, aren't they? Looks like things are just kind of calming down here. Look, GDRX is pushing back up to VWAP. So there's that. TVGN also looks like it's curling. So maybe these are the ones that we were looking at and talking about this morning are just later in the day plays. Except for Forget. I'm forgetting about that one.
Yeah, I would forget about that one too. TVGN looks like that might become a penny stock again here any moment. BDRX did curl off that 120. Looks like it's going to the VWAP. This trade's slower here, but this one did work. SMCI moving here with the rest of tech. I'm seeing some calls in here, but these are deep in the money calls, so those are probably closing transactions. Starbucks trading up here. Okay.
I guess people still drink coffee.
Oh, I've already had 2 cups here today. I don't really care for Starbucks, though, personally. I know that's kind of a hot take to some people, but not my favorite.
Maybe it's a good time to pick up Starbucks when, it's October and pumpkin spice is coming back.
I'll tell you what, I liked the pumpkin spice when I was younger. I don't really care for it. I'll be honest with you. And folks, real quick here, we do have 20 plus minutes left here on the show. Again, I want to thank all of you for hanging out with us. Great day here on a Friday. There is no Anne Marie today. So we had a little bit of an issue here. No Anne Marie today. We will be back locked and loaded on Tuesday. We'll go over some of the previous trades and likely have some new ones for you as well. So no Anne Marie today. We will be back to that next week. Chris S. Just no chill at all. I'd rather have 8-hour-old gas station coffee than Starbucks. Wow, that is them some strong words, Chris. I'm not really up on my gas station coffee. Haven't really tried any of that recently, but I can appreciate the passion. Carm and I appreciate that. We love having you here, by the way, Carm.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We love everybody here.
You add to the stream too. So,
and A-Lab is pushing higher. It looks like it's trying for $77.
What happened to the Moody Blues Beach Bum? What happened? What happened? Nights in White Satin, such a good song. Let me know what happened.
Oh wow, MFI just absolutely getting killed right now. This thing, this is the one that popped at the 1250, came back in. Haven't looked at it since, and now it's just all these wicks up top here make it look like a porcupine or a cat.
Which ticker? Sorry,
MFI.
MFI. That was that recent IPO that we looked at.
Yeah. Look at this. Look at the chart on this thing. It looks like a cat ready to attack.
Which time frame?
I'm looking at 5 minute.
I was like, "Where's the cat?" Okay, I see what you mean. MFI, it's going to need to hold that 10, or that's coming in a little bit more. Riley off the highs here a little bit. Jay Rice, do you remember? So I don't watch Kramer anymore. For a couple of reasons, and none as nefarious as you might think. I'm normally really busy during that hour, to be honest with you. 2 nights ago, someone asked Kramer about A-Lab. He was negative. What did he say on that? What was the reason? I guess is a bit better way of asking it. What was the reason he was negative on that, on A-Lab? Obviously, A-Lab has remained strong here, at least so far. I'm just wondering what he actually said in that as far as the actual content.
A month ago, there's an article from CNBC where it says Jim Cramer says newly public Astera Labs is already too expensive. So I guess he thinks it's too expensive, too overpriced.
Okay. Oh, nice call here in the chat. Tarpon Trader, hello, how are you? Good call here. Big pop here. I know I'm a little bit late to this, but we really kind of moved on volume here off that 140. This continuing higher through to, looks like 220 on deck here. Did we get news? No, nothing yet. This just looks like a volume pop here. Maybe some type of technical trade. SFWL, Shangfeng Development. This might just be a Chinese box job here. This popping. I'm going to avoid this one, but this popping here. Oh, okay. So Jay, he said there were too many IPOs in registration. What? I don't. Okay, so I'm gonna try and like actually assess this. 13 and I and the happy hour crew, we have talked a lot about some of the IPOs that we're still expecting, some of them pretty big. Discord, you can throw in there, especially on the
Databricks.
back of the Reddit IPO. But on top of that, the big one I think is going to be that Databricks one. That every piece of research that I do about AI seems to at some point in one way or another lead back to Databricks. I think that IPO is going to be huge. I think that IPO could draw money out of other things that are big winners like Nvidia or SMCI. Just saying. The IPOs and registration, like I know that there are some big ones coming, but is that a reason to not trade one that is clearly working? I don't. And so money flows from one IPO to the next, I guess, is what he was talking about. Jay, I think I don't know if that's good enough for me, right? I don't like that. I know what you're saying, and I know where he's coming from. Just passing through saying save the money for IPOs in the pipeline. I would be like, knowing what I know about Databricks, I agree with you, but I think that there's probably still a way to kind of trade that in the meantime. I don't think we're supposed to get these IPOs anytime soon.
I think Stay Focused gave us a good way of trading these IPOs, is to be in the fund managers that are already in these, or that are waiting for the IPOs to happen, that are already already have investment in them. So that could be a good way of playing some of these IPOs if you don't want to play them directly.
Yeah. Oh, and I know that you're just the reporter. I was just having an out loud discussion about that. Voodoo, interesting. Next time you're in the D, we'll hit that greasy spoon you call Portillo's in Sterling Heights. I'm buying. First of all, I really appreciate the offer. I will be more than happy to meet you and get some food. But unfortunately, we will not be going to Portillo's. I am extremely unhappy with this company. I am extremely unhappy with the management. And I am now at a time where I am not going to give them any more of my money. So I will politely decline and suggest that we go to a different greasy spoon. This one's a heartbreaker for me, right? Heartbreaker for me, because this is something that I've grown up with since my childhood, and it has been a stalwart in the Chicagoland area. And ever since this thing became public and this management team has been on top of it, they had all this great ideas with the store expansion. They've never closed a store in their history. But I'll tell you what, man, the management team is not any good. And I'm at the point now because I'm an active holder in this, and I am holding the bag on Portillo's at the moment. I'm not happy, and I am not going to give them my money. So just not going to do it. This stock needs to trade above 20 before I ever go there again. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry to say that. But that's how it is. I know I'm only one guy, but that's how it is. Sorry for the rant there, 13.
No worries. I can do other stuff while you speak your mind. Mark Wahlberg needs to come with a stock for his Wahlburgers. Is he franchising that? I don't know how his burger business is going, but I understand that it's doing pretty well. Just don't have a whole lot of information on.
So here's an interesting thing about Wahlburgers. There's actually one here in downtown Detroit. It's right by the Greektown Casino. It's actually on a street that has a bunch of different restaurants and nightlife, bars and pubs. Really, really well positioned. Location. But every time I've talked to somebody about, hey, where do you want to eat? Where can we get some food? Nobody ever brings up Wahlburgers. Nobody ever. And in fact, I think somebody asked about it several trips ago, and the response was, there's better places to go. Now, I can't, this is just secondhand. I've never been myself, so I can't speak to that, but just telling you what I hear.
What would be a ticker for that if he went public? BERG?
BERG? Oh, Berg. That would be a good ticker. Days Life. Ryan, you need to get more creative friends. No, man, get the heck out of here. I'm happy with my friends are great. I don't need to do anything different. It's actually kind of insulting, to be honest.
Oh, Wisdom ready to give Kramer a California curb stomp.
Oh no, boy, that really escalated quickly. In the words of Ron Burgundy, where 13's out here trying to curb stomp people already. Oh my goodness. BRDX, that bounce stopped right ahead of the VWAP there. NIFV coming back in a little bit, but still holding higher here. Wendy's appearing on the relative volume scanner, this taking a leg up. Wasn't Stay Focused on Wednesday or on Wendy's the other day?
I remember somebody was it him? I'm trying to think of who it was, but I remember seeing somebody mentioning that. You know what? I don't know. I don't think I wrote it down. Maybe I did. Let me see if I did. Let me see if that's something I put in the happy hour notes.
Okay. Yeah, my friends never invited me there because it isn't good. They invited me to a bunch of other places. Yikes, man. How did you read that off that? Oh my goodness. SFWL. Let's see. This is pulling back under 2. SFWL. TVGN is still holding on to that $1 level. HWH, are we taking another leg up here? That pullback met with buys. We actually did get a little bit of a buy pop in the last time. We might have some new highs here, HWH. And if that happens, 245, your next upside spot.
Yeah, we have that 239, almost pretty much 240 from the after hours yesterday. That's the, I think that's the level to get over, 240. And Wendy's was brought up on, let's see here.
I thought so because I made a joke about how good the Baconator is.
Yeah. I remember that. It looks like that may have been Tuesday. Let me double check here.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Stay Focused is a sharp guy. I can't wait till he joins next time. We got to give him props.
What did he say that he liked about it? Because I didn't have anything written down.
It was near the end, and I don't think we broke it down. It was just one of those stocks that we kind of did during ticker time, where we were taking a look at the chart, and it actually looked pretty good. And in fact, I can bring it up here real quick. Let's go back to that.
Okay.
It looked like it was kind of trading sideways and kind of wanted to break out. Yeah, right. So we're kind of just in this area. It's curling up. It really looks like it wants to take some of these spots out. We had resistance levels figured out here, 2250 and then 24. And then obviously we had this huge pop up towards 30. It looks like we're trying to get back into this consolidation area, and then a breakout of 24 would be the huge move here. Ticker WEN, Wendy's.
I'm curious to see if he actually is out of this now. This might be a little overbought. And it's up to a pretty interesting level. I think 2050 might be the top end of this.
It's right here, though. I mean, if it breaks through that, what do we do next?
Oh, then you sell into the strength, I guess.
Okay, good. So we were just quizzing you on what we're talking about. Really good stuff there.
It's like this. The RSI as it is right now is at 74. So that's already decently high. We go higher, this thing is likely going to see a lot of sellers line up to take this thing down. I don't know we'll get to 80 RSI, but if we do, then I would definitely want to be out of this by then. Yeah, I just think that we probably will go higher at some point, but I just don't think it might be soon. We think we should be seeing some profit taking and some pullback pretty soon here. And if I'm wrong about that, well, then I would say maybe it goes to $21 then if we keep going.
Okay, we'll see here on Wendy's. Still want to give Stay Focused some props. We'll see if he's got any upside targets.
Yeah.
Wisdom mentioning Chipotle. Wisdom, are the munchies kicking in? Are you looking for a burrito? That would be my guess here. Here, I got a question for the group. Everyone here, I got a question for you. When Chipotle does its 50-for-1 split and becomes affordable again, who's buying? Who likes Chipotle as a long post-split? Would love to hear some thoughts on that.
Remember we talked about how these splits we've seen happen with like Tesla and Apple and Walmart. We want to kind of wait a little bit after that split happens for it to kind of come back in and then pick it up, because that's kind of what they tend to happen that way, where they split and then they sell off a little bit, and maybe about maybe a month to a quarter later they start to come back up and make new highs. They're going to make new highs after the split, but I think it's going to take a little bit of time.
Yeah, I am definitely interested in some Chipotle. I'd hold that long term. I think Chipotle is absolutely killing it. I still go there myself. Really, really love it. I'm definitely a buyer of Chipotle post split. I want to see how it trades a little bit after that. That's coming up here in June, I believe. 50 for 1 in June. Definitely waiting. Market Sniper. Okay. Jay Rice bringing up a really good point here. Again, CMG, the good news here for us traders is that after that split, the option spreads won't be ridiculous. So we'll see here. CGEM still having a really nice day here. That's actually holding its big move. Wow, CGEM 30%. Here today. I think the last time we looked at this was 20, and now it's going higher.
And SFWL went up to 218, and now it's getting a bit of a pull here. Still above VWAP, though. BOF lower now. ALAB still climbing higher.
FRGT about to forget about $1. Snap still holding in on that VWAP. I think there might be an afternoon move here in Snap.
NVIDIA probably it looks like it's about to take out the high from today at 869.80.
NVIDIA trying to go for that 870 here, up almost 5% here today on NVIDIA. Snow holding higher here, plus 4% on the day. Big lucid put sweep coming across the board here.
MACD on NVIDIA is not too encouraging, but the pattern looks all right.
Emiliola, have you ever felt guilty about making money in the stock market with just a few clicks on the computer? Absolutely not. Oh my goodness, no way. And let me tell you something else. Anyone that comes at you and tells you that you should feel a certain way has no idea what they're talking about. The amount of risk that you put on the line every time you click one of those buttons is not something to be minimized. And to be able to do this for a long time and do this well, and I don't even think I'm very good, frankly, to be able to do this for the long term and to do it well, no, absolutely not. Nobody here should feel that way. That is alarming, frankly.
Yeah, I mean, you're risking your capital. I don't think you should feel guilty about that. I mean, if I'm going to feel guilty about making money just with a few clicks, what should I feel when I lose money by making a few clicks?
Or what should I feel when I lose money because the government does something that decreases my earnings?
Yeah.
No, absolutely not. No, no.
No, this is legal. You make your money the best way you can, and you live your life, and you get to be your own boss.
Crow's just no chill. Crow's out here. No, it feels great to take shorts, man. Crow.
Well, I like the question though. I'm sure there's a big psychological element to trading and making, because you can make really good money on this, but you can also lose a lot of money in this. So there is a big emotional and psychological element to this this whole thing that we do here. NVIDIA really close to making new highs.
Okay. Jay, you woke up on the wrong side of the bed. We'll see you next week, dude.
POF. I still think that looks like it's going lower. Oh, man.
IBRX holding its flag here on this move. This might be going higher here. IBRX.
Have we looked at that one yet today?
No, not today, but this was one from earlier this week.
Okay.
This thing broke down twice after popping in the pre-market. Today was solid in the pre-market and ripped up. Go figure.
Do traders have haters? I imagine they do. I'm sure I have people that hate on me.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you know, you want to see some real toxic haters, go play some video games.
Let me tell you something. If you can be a gamer on the internet, you can do almost anything.
You can definitely be a trader if you've been a gamer on the internet. You have no problem with that. Because a lot of these things that move like this, that have, you know, you have no business owning or holding on to for the long time, you're just trading these. This is like a casino, a video game almost. So, you know, this is why I have fun with it, because it feels like almost, in some cases I'm kind of playing a game here.
Look at this trend here in DKNG. Bouncing pretty clean off the trend line. Jay, I know you like this one. Let's see if we get 50 prints on this. That's right. Just passing through. Oh man, this comment, dude. We got some great stuff here. Get in line. Starts around the corner. Just go get in line.
Yeah, you might have to leave your day job for that, though. It's a long line.
You got that right. You got that right.
Looks like I love mentioning this stock because it's hilarious. WISA had a pop this morning to $6.90, came back in down to 630. It's coming back up again, trying to move up through VWAP. Looks like it's happening now. There's a decently sized sell order at 670, so we'll see if it can break through that.
Here is WISA on that curl. See if we get this later today. HWH still holding that 220 area.
Yeah, I was just saying, I don't know, man. This is looking like a market got really tired or just dried up. Not seeing a whole lot of things that I'm really interested in trying to trade at the moment. I see some setups, but the volume just doesn't look great.
BRDX, that looks like that's kind of done. Hollow is above its VWAP and maybe trying to set a new high, so maybe they're on Hollow. Watch that this afternoon. PAGS is up here, and it's holding its move up here on PAGS. But okay.
Yeah. That's Market Sniper NIVF. It looks like it might be. I think it might go lower first, but that would mean it goes through VWAP. So I think I'm going to wait to see what happens with this one. But it does look like it's an okay setup. But we need to. I think I would want to see it hold above VWAP as long as it can. Maybe we'll get a turnaround, but not sure.
All right, folks, it is 11 o'clock. We are going to be done here for the week. Just an absolutely great week from you folks out here. The best community on the internet doing it again. Judge, take care of yourself. Thanks for all the support, man. Thanks for hanging out last night. Hope that you enjoyed that. Enjoy your weekend, folks. 13 and I are out of here. 13, any closing words? We're going to see you next week.
Yeah, I'll be here next week. Everybody have a great weekend, and I'll see you on Monday.
Sounds good, folks. Take care, stay green, stay safe, and we'll throw it in for my guys.